In this video, I'm going to show you how to add creative filters to your work. The first thing that you really need to do before you go ahead and start adding filters is start to have a scene. Have some things that are already cut out that you're going to make some changes to. As you can see, I already built my scene, and it's built up of a variety of different pieces. You can see that each of these things I've already cut out and I placed into the place that I wanted. I decided to create this strange scene of a whole bunch of things running, and I put it in this strange desert background. And I even, I kind of drew some dirt and moved that around, placed that there so that it gives it a little bit more depth. So you're gonna have to go through and carefully crop out all the things that you want. But once you have them cropped, then you're ready to start making them into something more creative. So once you know what you want to change, you're going to choose that object. I'm going to focus on this little boy that's running. So I'm going to find it in my layers, highlight it so that we know that that is the thing that we're working on, so I can move this around or make changes. And then in the top bar, I am going to come to filters. You can see that in the filters, there's a lot of different options that you can play around with. Before you start making any changes with the filters, what I would do is I would save my file first, because these take a heavy load on your computer, and sometimes it'll crash your program while you're still trying to select your filters. There's a lot of different possibilities down here. One of the most common ones that people use is they will use the blurs or the blur galleries. The blurs have a lot of different ways to make it kind of blurry. I like the Gaussian blur personally, but you can see it gives me this little window and I can change how blurry I want it or how not blurry. You can see down over here that my little person will be less blurry if I have it down more, or more blurry to the point of being almost completely gone if I put it all the way up. I want him just a little bit blurry, and I'll press OK. So you can see that within my scene, now I have this blurry child. What I wanted you to do is I want you to play around with the different filters and make a different filter for every person. Make it kind of crazy, so you know how not crazy to get in your other scenes. So I'm going to change this eagle. I'm going to select the eagle layer. I'm going to come up to filters. Another interesting place is to go to the filter gallery. In the filter gallery, it'll take you into a secondary window. This is usually where it starts crashing. So again, make sure that you save your work before you start working in here. Then it has several folders that you can choose from. And right now I'm in the brushstrokes folder, but I can come to the sketch folder or the stylized folder. And in there, they will have different creative filters that you can put on. This one, as you can see, has made my eagle very strange and almost like it's outlined in some glowing edge, which is what it says it will do. But I could choose something else. Maybe I want it to feel more like a splatter painting. And then I can change different radiuses, like how much it's going to splatter, how smooth it looks. That kind of gives it like an underwater sort of feel, which can be pretty fun. So find some interesting ones, play around with it. I'm going to have some strange splatter birds, and now I'm going to work on the jellyfishes and start making things kind of strange. So I'm going to speed up the video so you don't have to watch me do each of these, but we're going to see if we can't come up with something interesting. And so there we go. I put a strange filter on each of my figures to make them feel a little bit more crazy. They can help to make a scene feel more unified if you decide to make all of them the same filter or similar filters. Now I'm going to do a little bonus one. I'm going to see if I can change the background so it feels like it transitions from going from the right to the left. So I'm going to make a quick copy. And a way that you can create a copy very quickly in Photoshop is if you drag a layer into the new layers palette, it'll make an immediate copy. So I'm going to make a filtered layer of this and change it to something creative. So something that I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color of my foreground color. For some reason, I'm really feeling this hot pink. Then, when I go into the filters gallery and I use one of the sketching styles, notice how when I choose that style, it's going to change it into my foreground color. It is now bright pink. I got to play around to see which one I think is fun, but we have some neat options. Now, I'm going to make my eraser nice and big and lower the opacity just a little bit. It's very tricky to make your eraser too big because it might slow down your program. So again, it's good to get in the habit of saving. But let's just erase a little bit so that it starts to create a smooth transition. Bring the hardness down. So now I have a really strange, awesome, amazing world of a lot of different crazy filters. For you, you have to make sure that you use at least 5 different unique objects and that you create 5 different filters throughout your design. But have some fun. Make it look like they go together and make it look like they don't go together.